caballeros, que fuman.
All right, we are smoking the Villiger Miami. So we are smoking, this is the 2023 edition. This is the Cañonazo. It's a 5 7/8 by 53. Great name.
I already love the name.
Cañonazo.
What does it mean?
Cañonazo, big cannon.
The big
or
cannon.
big cannon blast.
You know, that was my
Cañonazo.
nickname in college, but
Is that right?
That's another show.
Is that right?
Yeah, there it is.
No era cañoncito. No era cañón recortado.
Listen, it's got to start. Like, you know, it was cold. It was a water day. You know, what are you gonna do?
All right. So anyway, this is a Villiger product made in the Dominican Republic. It is a limited release. This one. The wrapper is from Ecuador. The binder is undisclosed.
What?
And the fillers are, one is Peru and the other is undisclosed. Price is $17 per stick. It's available in 3 sizes. So the 5 by 50 robusto, that one was the initial release of this in 2022. Then came the lancero, which was a 7.5 by 38. And then the 2023 release, which is this one, which again is that Cañonazo. So those of you that follow the show and that have been listening, you've heard Villiger a million times, right? But we haven't really like smoked a Villiger on the show and done a review in a very, very long time.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, I remember we had Renee on the show like years ago. I think maybe even before Jimmy was on. So it has been a long time.
That was BJ.
That was BJ before Jim. So anyway, this is the Villiger Miami. The Villiger Miami was initially meant to be a cigar that Renee would offer his guests when they would visit the Miami offices of Villiger. Villiger is a famously Swiss company with obviously its headquarters in Switzerland, but their U.S. operations are headquartered in Miami. And whenever someone would come to visit the office, Renee would hand them one of these in the robusto format, and it was a huge hit. So people kept saying, "Hey man, why don't you like release that cigar? Because that thing is awesome." And eventually they did. And so the Lancero got a 92 in our January-February 2023 issue. And this one, the Cañonazo, got a 91 in the September-October 2023. So clearly a cigar that we like, right? So now I want to know, that's when we smoke them blind for the ratings. But now we know what it is, and you guys are smoking it now. We just lit it. We're about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch in. How do you feel about it?
Well, it's a lighter shade wrapper tobacco. I don't find it to be very powerful. It's almost in like that medium to medium plus, so it has a lot of flavor. It's creamy. It has vanilla. And the word that keeps coming to mind as I'm smoking this right now, it's almost like Cuban-esque.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And it's not strong. I don't think it's meant to be strong.
No.
I wouldn't even put it in the medium plus category. I think it's probably mild to medium and maybe topping out at medium, at least for me. But yeah, it is. It does have that like nuttiness and that cedar and that creaminess. It's a very nice, beautifully balanced cigar. What about you, Jimmy? What do you think about it?
Well, what I love about it is I love how it feels in your hand. I mean, it is you know you're holding a cigar, right? You know, you've come here.
You like the slightly higher ring gauges.
I like the ring gauges. I like the higher ring gauges.
53, which is an odd one, but
yeah, I mean, I like how it feels. You know, I almost don't even want to hold it between my fingers. I almost want to hold it with all 5 fingers as I'm holding it right here for the camera, because it's full, and it feels like. It smokes different than it feels. Like when you first gave me this and told me it was the Cañonazo, I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be a chest buster. This is gonna be, but it is delightful.
What do you call it? What do you call that slap fighting thing that they do nowadays that we see on social media? Like that's what you're thinking.
Yeah,
not un cañonazo, un galletazo.
This is slap your mama kind of. You know, that's
in terms of the name, yeah.
Yeah, and then but
it's not.
But
not
it's such a nice change of pace. You know, I mean, yeah, you could say breakfast cigar, you could say first cigar of the day as you're maybe taking a walk out in the neighborhood with the dog. It's definitely it's rich. That's the word more than anything. I almost feel like I'm like I'm chomping. You know, like I'm licking my lips when I'm doing it. It's savory, the cream, the nuttiness. It's very good, and I will applaud Villiger for not falling into the Miami trap, because anytime you hear or see any sort of Miami, you see the bright colors and the pink and the vice look. It's a blue and gold. It's a very understated Miami look, which I like because sometimes, everybody has the teal and the pink and stuff like that. So it's
the messy
right.
effect.
So, but this looks, it's almost very regal, and I like it. Very classic, band. But again, real good start with this. Yeah, and the retrohale is amazing.
It complements the smoke. Because if it were to be so flat, if the packaging is all flashy and these vice colors, it would contradict exactly what you were smoking. Because this is very, very
it's
classic,
yeah.
elegant. I don't find it that mild, and I'm not saying it's strong. I'm not saying that, but I don't find it on the mild side.
But you would say this from what it feels in your hand to what it smokes, it's two different things.
Two different things,
and that's I love the juxtaposition.
Which I could smoke like at night, like you had mentioned breakfast cigar. We can smoke. This is breakfast now for us, and I can smoke it perfectly now. But I could also smoke it at night, like after dinner, before dinner. It's perfectly fine.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. I think people get kind of lost in, I smoke full body, and it's like a macho thing. But cigars, for you to be able to enjoy multiple cigars and enjoy them, they can't be overpowering.
Right.
When they're overpowering, they blow away your palate. After 2 cigars, you're going to have a hard time tasting anything. So this cigar is a classic cigar. It's a throwback to the way cigars used to be made, which is for you to just be able to enjoy multiple cigars and not have it blow away your palate. And the focus is more on balance, aroma, and flavor than on strength.
It's very clean also on the aftertaste.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you could smoke 2 cigars, 3 cigars.
And, and sometimes, I always think about like, maybe this is the when I'm walking the dog but I almost feel like with this cigar, and I'm going to kind of change my mind on it. I almost feel like I want to be sitting down and really just enjoying the smoke and dealing with the complexities of it, the creaminess, the cedar, the nut, all that stuff. And again, I can't emphasize enough how the retrohale just kind of like, it doesn't really burn. It's really smooth. It really complements the stick. I mean, again, I can't believe they were giving these away for so long, and they finally said, "Hey, everybody needs. You don't have to come to the Villiger offices in Miami now."
Yeah, and by the way, if you like this one, you should try the lancero if you can still get your hands on some. Some of them are still out there because the production wasn't very big. I think it was like 5,000 cigars of the lancero, so it wasn't that many. This one has a higher production, but anyway, yeah, I think it's a fantastic smoke.
I can't wait to see how it pairs with the Scotch.
I know it is like tailor-made for Scotch.
Did you say Scotch?
Scotch.
My wee pillow in your enormous head. We had to get a little, so I married an axe murderer. But it could be one of the most overrated or underrated Mike Meyer movies.
See, I didn't know if you were going to go Anchorman at that moment or Michael Myers.
A piper is dune. A piper is dune. And
speaking, can you turn on the fan for Jimmy? It's there.
Hey, listen, if you hear a hum, that would be my heart not skipping a bit. Hey, listen, I tend to run hot. As my old psychology teacher would say, it just means everything's working. And it'll be a bigger mess if I explode. So look at it that way. So I'm going to enjoy my
cañonazo.
Un cañonazo will be it. If you hear a boom, that would be me. All right. So how is your smoky treat, Mr. Ivan?
Cruising altitude, Biscoff, pretzels,
moist olives.
I said it at the beginning. I'll say it again. It has this Cuban feel to it, which I rarely smoke Cuban cigars, but whenever I get one and it's good, I really enjoy it because it's a very different type of smoke than what we're used to smoking, which is this like Nicaraguan pepper. Like that's the majority of the stuff that we smoke. At least at my house, in my humidor, I have a lot of like full-bodied, strong cigars, and this has just been very smooth, very complex with a lot of flavors, very creamy. I love switching up gears like this and going to this type of cigar.
What I love very creamy cigars, and the creaminess has never really gone away from this thing.
Yeah,
again, we're about halfway in, but it's still that nice, pleasantness on the palate.
Clean, very clean.
Well,
we've gotten this far into the cigar, and there is no like resin or residual like bad like tar that you're getting on your palate. It's very clean, very nice.
Yeah, so creaminess. A lot of guys have asked over the years when we say that a cigar has creamy notes, and that could be a little misleading. Guys have asked that in the past. Creaminess, more than a flavor, is a texture, right? The smoke has creaminess to it. It's not that it tastes like you're drinking heavy cream.
Right.
You know, it's the fact that the smoke has this creamy texture as it rolls off your tongue, right?
Very smooth.
So smooth is one thing, clean is another, and creamy is another. Creamy has that like just its creaminess. It's like silky on your palate, right? And so that's what the cigar has in spades. It has that just creaminess. So even though it's delivering, nuts and some vanilla notes and some pepper and all those little spices, it's doing it on this like bed of creaminess. It's really nice.
If I ever have like chapped lips, I'm going to smoke this because I know my lips will be nice and
all set. You'll be good to go.
And moisturized after this.
You'll be good to go. Take it to Vegas.
See how that works?
Speaking of Vegas and speaking of notes, we had somebody come up to us at the show. I think it was at the show in Vegas. One of our listeners, and they asked, when you say earth notes, what exactly do you mean? And it was a great question, right? Because it's very hard to describe. But maybe that's a topic for another show.
Yeah, that's a topic for another show. This cigar, by the way, is not very earthy.
Right.
At all.
Right? It has, like, if you were looking at a flavor wheel, the earth would probably be close to 0 on this one. Right? It's more wood. It's more nuts. Again, cream and some peppery type of spice. Not earth. Right?
Not earth.
We can talk about that on another show.
Yeah.
If you want.
Sounds like a plan.
Thanks for watching Cigar Snob on YouTube. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe. There's a lot of content on our channel. And we also print a magazine, so subscribe to that at cigarsnob.com. But in the meantime, catch you on the next one.